Welcome back to the channel, guys. Brian from Apex Detail here, working with two more polishes from Xtreme Solutions, LVR 403, LVR 367. One of these I really would love to share my experience with you guys. It really stands out. I have quite a few of their polishes and compounds. This one here has stood out by a long shot so far. This one here is polish for darker vehicles. Use it with a foam polish pad or even the microfiber polishing pad like we have here attached to a 15mm throw. This formula includes a bit of acrylic, which helps with filling, lays down excellent protection. And I love to work with it on darker cars that I want to get to pop a little bit more. Grays, silvers, even some of the lighter colors like white, beige, champagne. You have to put a little bit of extra effort into them to get them to stand out, to beg for attention as you're walking by them. So I'm using this today, and as you can see here, as soon as you start to work it, it turns clear. The only thing it leaves behind after a few passes is a very thin residue to wipe off. It doesn't get easier than this. Working with a polish or a compound or a one-step that's user-friendly. It doesn't get easier. And you can see with the high definition from the reflection off of this hood, we are really pulling out some gloss and depth out of this 330 twin turbo BMW here. Guys, a product like this is also going to benefit you if you have trouble clear coat on an older car that is very thin and you really can't shave or polish or compound a lot more of that clear. It helps fill in some of those troubled areas and builds up protection, really brings out gloss, and I also love to use it on single stage paint. Single stage is very porous, very absorbent, and if I use acrylic first and let it cure, I can lay down any protection I want to on top of that, which is what you can do. You can lay down waxes, sealants, coatings on top of acrylic when it finally cures. 24 to 48 hours. 48 hours at, if you can, and you're working on a car, or if you have one of your own cars in a garage, if you can leave it cure for 48 hours, you're going to benefit the most from it. So let's move over to these B-pillars here. These are black piano finish. These are even softer, and as you can see, they're heavily scratched and swirled. We're just going to take a few passes with a polishing pad. Let's see what we can get done. Guys, be easy on these B-pillars. These are ornamental. They are softer. They have a softer clear on top of these than clear coat on your paint. I saw a video the other day of somebody they were revving the hell out of their polisher going over these, and that's just very careless. Don't do that. Be careful. Keep the temperature down and use something that is not very aggressive at all. This actually would be perfect for B-pillars or black piano finish in the interior trim. And you can see the improvement we made just with a few trips. If we want to perfect it, we can go one more trip over this yet. There are one or two spots left. Let's go over to a Honda here. It's pretty much the same color, but it's very, very dull. There are some staining, very light swirls, a little bit of etching here and there. And we're going to take care of this hood with the exact same product, and we're going to bring out gloss on this car like we did on the 330i. Having angled the camera that the shop lights are directly above the hood so you can get a good view here of what it looks like and how easy it is, how clear it becomes translucent as you're working it. Actually, within the first trip, it becomes translucent, so you can actually keep an eye on the area you're correcting or perfecting, where you're going, where you've been, and when you're done, you have a very thin film or residue to wipe off. It doesn't get any easier than this. This is even easier than 3D1 to use. Now, don't get me wrong, this has nowhere near the correction power the 3D1 has, but this finishes down much better and will produce a much higher shine. Yeah, you can see just how easy that is. I'll bring you in closer like I usually do to give you that first person view. Piece of cake, huge turnaround, gave this thing a nice pop as well. Between these two vehicles here, it's not a lighting setup or a visual illusion. I'm going to put some numbers behind exactly what we're seeing here on a test panel for you. Speaking of the test panel, here it is, and this will represent the trouble clear coat here. We're going to get a couple gloss measurements first, and as you can imagine, it's going to be very low. This is a ton of imperfections here. They are not very deep, but they are a lot of them. What's fantastic about the product is it's very mild. You can get a huge turnaround with removing a barely amount of clear coat that's measurable by any gauge. All right, so we're just starting off with a little over 65 gloss units on this troubled area here. 4 little pea-sized drops on the pad. I'm going to do a crisscross pattern, and we're not looking for perfection. We're not going to get perfection. I can tell you that already, but the turnaround you're going to see here is going to be phenomenal. That's going to do it. Let me grab a microfiber because once again, all there's left is a very thin film or residue to wipe off. And again, to repeat, let the acrylic cure 24 to 48 hours. If you can lean more towards 48, that'd be perfect before you lay down the protection of choice. Because yes, you can layer on top of this anything you want. A wax, a sealant, a coating. All right, let me bring you guys in closer for a better look. It's not going to be perfect. Even if I wanted to, this hood is trashed and it gets thrown around. It's been slid down a stone driveway. But the turnaround is huge, and I'm going to show you that. We're going to put some numbers behind it with the gloss meter. This product definitely puts a spring in my step. I'm normally even keeled when I get excited, even when I'm upset. When I get excited, I'm not doing cartwheels or bumbling like an idiot. Doing somersaults down the driveway. But this does put me in a good mood because I found a product that I've been looking for. I have one similar to this, but it's a little bit harder to use. So this here, I can get done quicker with a car, move on, get on to the next job, be more profitable. The customer, they're definitely going to be happier when they see the gloss and reflection from these cars. And this here will give you the numbers behind what we've been seeing. A huge jump, one of the biggest jumps on the channel. Not the highest reading overall, and it will improve a bit as it cures, but very impressive. And you can see by these two vehicles here, even the boss here is happy. Her tail is wagging, and so is mine. I want to mention, like I do in a lot of my videos, if you have something similar and you're happy with it, by all means, use it up, finish it up. This video is a resource you can come back to if you're looking for a product like this. Don't hoard products or collect them or overspend like I do on them. If you're enjoying the content here, guys, like, subscribe, share the content, hit that notification bell. That'll let you know when we have new videos.